an amazing day.
Yes, it is. It is.
So for all my guys on YouTube, glad to be back here today for the 10th day. It's Disruptive Parenting Summit 2022, and this is the very first edition. Give me 1 minute, I want to share and be back. We are going to have an amazing evening today. Right. Somebody is waiting already. Okay. One more thing. Oh, okay. I'm excited. Awesome. Okay, good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Whichever part of the world that you're joining us from, we are grateful. We're excited to have you. Thank you for being here. For everyone who have been here, followed through for these 10 days. Drums rolling for you. Thank you for staying committed to the next generation. We're excited. My name is Amaka. I am the host, convener of the Disruptive Parenting Summit 2022. And once again, why are we here? I have a strong feeling that the soul of the next generation is in serious contention. One mishap today, the other one, another day, the other one molestation. In fact, there were years where when you will see several months pass before you hear one news of a child dying. You will see rape, molestation, maybe because it was underreported at a time. But this time around, in the last couple of months and weeks, you will see children die avoidable deaths. Some of them raped to death, some of them, carefree here and there. Summarily, you will see that all stakeholders that are sent to groom, to raise, to parent these children, whether they are institutions or government or the family, father, mother, caregivers, we just need to do more. It looks like hell if you're a person of faith wants to snuff out the life from the geniuses of the next generation. So we cannot afford to watch that happen. Someone will say, not under my watch. However, we will not just say it. There has to be something we are doing differently to help the next generation become. And so we set out the Disruptive Parenting Summit. Someone told me 2 days ago to be precise, and she said, I think one of our guests, she said, I love the title of that book, Disruptive Parenting. So, because in our time, you will hear disruptive marketing, disruptive this or that, but hey, there are flows of negatives that we have to disrupt so that we will, be able to infuse the right values that will turn our children into champions and our kids into kings. So I think last year I launched my book, Disruptive Parenting. If you have not gotten it, you're not doing yourself a good favor. You're not doing yourself a favor at all. It's one book that I recommend. Not because I am the author of that book. Believe me, the feedback we have gotten from industry giants who have read the book is incredible, is amazing. I am blown away myself, right? So it's a book that every parent, every caregiver, in fact, if you're still single, you need to read that book now, because it will help you to avoid all the mistakes that people who have gone ahead of you have made. However, I didn't set out to do summit or to start an academy. I set out to write a book. See, the academy followed suit. In fact, it was almost like the academy went ahead of the book launch itself. Why? I had sent that book, the manuscript of that book, to my editor, and she sent me a message. She didn't even finish reading the book. She sent me a message and she said, this book must have a course, right? I said, okay. Then we started working on the course. Then we started an academy. And here we are today, 1 year after. This is Disruptive Parenting Summit. I'm excited. I am blown away. The impacts we are making is mind-boggling. I'm excited for particularly all the people who are attending the summit and they are applying on the spot. Because some of the feedbacks I'm getting shows that participants are actually already applying and they are getting massive results. So please don't just attend, begin to apply. Especially if you're a caregiver, you're a father, you're a mother, please begin to begin to apply. We need to do it. We are on a rescue mission. Your children and my children must become everything that's sent here to do. All right. So why disruptive parenting movement? Disruptive parenting movement, we see that, yes, I'm a professional, I'm a mental health practitioner. I've been in family life space for nearly 3 decades, right? I stumbled on it. Life happened. Like I wrote in the post that I shared today. Life happened and my mom passed at 10. And then on her deathbed, she looked at me and said, Amaka, take care of your siblings. So I didn't understand the weight of that, but that was almost like a transfer of baton. And so I began my parenting journey at age 10. Now it's no longer only that 10 years old experience that I have. I have gotten certifications, that's authored my own book, and I'm doing very well. I'm also a Couples Connect, call myself a Couples Connect coach. I have my husband and I, we have a WhatsApp group where we are mentoring married people to help them connect deeply so that they can become friends, as in they connect deeply as friends so they can enjoy marital bliss and ecstasy, right? So yeah, we are doing all of that. But today I'm wearing the parent coach cap because we must do what we have to do to rescue the next generation. I was saying that why the movement? Why do we have different professionals come in? That's because to raise a wholesome child, you and I need a village, a community. So we are advocating for community parenting re-engineering. There is no one person that can raise a wholesome child. There is something you need to bring to the table. There's something I need to bring to the table. And together, we can be able to raise all our children into champions and all our kids into kings. When we were growing up, if you see a child, you could rebuke that child. You could take care of that child. You could do the thing the child's mother or father can do. In fact, if that child was doing something wrong, you were going to pick the child, drag the child to the parents and say, hey, I found your child doing XYZ. This needs to be corrected. But somewhere along the line, I don't know what happened to us. So we got into this, my child, that we even make some parents get to school and fight their children's teacher. And that is not to say that you have to abuse, you have to endorse abuse. No, but it's just to say that there is no one person that can raise a wholesome child. It's not possible. There's something you have to bring. There's something I have to bring. Hence, we have scheduled this 30 days to teach and to bring you different aspects of parenting, different aspects, so that whatever state you are, you can be able to find value. And if there's something at the end of the day or at the end of this session you are not able to get, please reach out and let's help you to fix that up. It is important to us that we raise a generation that will not get to the Senate and be fighting because they were not taught negotiations. It is important to us that we raise the next generation of United Nations Secretary General, the Ngozi Okonjo-Iwealas of our time, that is making this nation proud, regardless of all the things, all the people that are dragging her name to the dust. All right. But today we have dedicated today to a very special set of people, and I'm excited about it. Our guest today is an Amazon. She's a woman I respect. She's a woman who is involved in a dimension of parenting that touches my soul. All right. And she has moved on from just finding herself in that situation of having a special needs kid. I call it a differently abled child. And she has become a certified special needs parenting coach. That's, in fact, that's a major place to put her hands together for her, right? She has gone beyond her pain, and her pain has become purpose. And so it's my honor to welcome her to the Disruptive Parenting Summit today. Sis, I'm excited at what you're doing. I am glad. I want to stand on behalf of that child that you're raising and you're loving to say thank you. Thank you for the sleepless nights. Thank you for the extra miles that you're going. Thank you for every time you wish you could talk to somebody and there's nobody to talk to. Thank you for every time that nobody understood you. Thank you for every time in our world, you know, we are very interesting. For every time we behaved like you got yourself into it. Like you went to the bank and you went to the supermarket or to the grocery and you paid for it. You know, our people are very interesting, right? Sometimes they will behave as though their righteousness got them the kind of kick they are. But hey, it's none of those things, right? And so on the behalf of those children, I want to say thank you. God bless you. And I welcome you with love. I welcome you to Coach Sochi to the Disruptive Parenting Summit 2022. Please go ahead and share. I'm eager to hear that story in full.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You got me tearing up at some point. I was almost tearing up, but thank you so much. Sometimes I'm amazed when people tell me, "Oh, you're such a strong one," and I go like, "I'm just doing life the way life has done me. I'm just doing life the way I understand life. I don't know it any other way, you know." But in all, I'm grateful for where I found myself. So it's an interesting journey. It is an interesting journey. So thank you so much for having me here. I'm very grateful, and I hope that I would be able to impact into one or two people here and know that they are not alone. Yeah. So, okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Mojisola Ogunsonwo. I have 3 kids, 2 of which have special needs or children with special abilities. My first son has cerebral palsy, and my second son has what is called a language disorder. My third son, he doesn't have any physical or behavioral challenges. He's fine. So this whole journey had come to birth after I had my first child. But the Nigerian climate doesn't particularly accept people being very vocal about their issues. So when I realized there was something wrong with my child when he was almost 1, he wasn't crawling, he wasn't doing anything. And I got my diagnosis over the phone because I was working then. I was working in financial services. And at the time, he was quite demanding. It was when we're having major recession in Nigerian economy, where we're giving crazy targets and everything. So it was pretty demanding. It was my mom and my nanny that went to the hospital that day, and I spoke with the doctor. And I got my diagnosis over the phone that my son has cerebral palsy. That's the first time in my entire life I have ever heard anything called cerebral palsy. I mean, I'd seen people that had challenges. I had known about Down syndrome. I had known about autism, but that was it. I did not know any other thing. And I didn't think that there was any other thing beyond Down syndrome and autism until I got, and then I went on Google while I was in the office. I had to go to the toilet to receive the call because, I mean, we don't pick up personal calls during work hours. Sorry for another day. So I had to go to the toilet. I had to go to the toilet, and then I was like, cerebral palsy. It was sounding like Greek, like Mandarin, or even Chinese, like cerebral palsy. What's that? I go on Google. I don't see nice pictures. I see pictures of children who have been forgotten by society and about life. And I go like, this can happen to my child. And then I got home. I made some calls. I have a cousin who is a medical doctor abroad in South Africa precisely. I spoke with him. I said, this is what's going on and all this and all. And he was like, okay, fine. Let's make arrangement. Bring your child to SA and let's see what we can do. I'm just trying to, I'm cutting off a lot of things. And then I resigned. I left my job and I was in South Africa. And the first time I got my actual diagnosis, you know what doctor told me? He said, my story is like somebody who gave birth in Somalia because of the circumstances surrounding his birth. That he's surprised that this can happen in a Nigerian hospital. And I'm like, that's what happened. They said, are you sure you didn't give birth in Somalia? I said, no, I had my child in Nigeria, And I cried. I cried when I got the diagnosis. When I now got the diagnosis that yes, your child has cerebral palsy, and he may never be able to do anything on his own. That shattered my world. Because when I was leaving Nigeria to South Africa, I was expecting that by the time I'm coming back, I will be coming back with my child walking and talking and everything. But that also made me resolve that whatever it took, my child didn't ask to be born the way he was born, but whatever it took, whatever it's going to take from me, I'm going to do it. And I went on 1 or 2 trainings when I was in South Africa to help me manage my child's situation. And it really did help. But I had to come back home after some time. I stayed away for about a year, 18 months. So I had to come back to Nigeria. And it was really challenging because I met a lot of good, bad, and ugly medical professionals. Even with the meeting the good, bad, I remember I was like, I need to go to hospitals. I came with a burning desire, like, I need to go to hospitals. I need to talk to doctors. They need to refer their children, their parents that have special needs kids. I can't be the only one who's feeling like this. I was trying to raise a community, and then I met a doctor. I won't mention the name of the hospital. And he said to me, it's a renowned private hospital. And he said, we don't have those kind of children here. That guy shut me down. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any of those kind of children here? Are you saying that I am a nobody so because I'm a nobody, I deserve to have this kind of child? Yeah, it broke me. But I realized something when I now had my second child, and then I now had a language disorder. I said there has to be something here. God doesn't try to tell you something. God tells you something. And I realized that God was telling me something and I was not listening. With my first child, I did not hear. Probably because I didn't understand and I was still quite immature in my faith. But with the challenges and all, I grew closer to God. And by the time I prayed for my second child was coming and the praying and everything, and then I now had a child who had another challenge as well. I'm like, God is not trying to tell me something. God is saying something to me. And so I made up my mind that I'm going to help parents that have special needs. And peculiar with my situation is because my children are in a single parent household. That is, their dad and I are no longer together. So that's what makes it even unique. Because you see, the situation I am in is very peculiar. It doesn't just it takes the grace of God to be a single parent on its own, raising children. And I have all boys. And sometimes I'm clueless and I don't know what to even do. But it now takes a special grace when you now have children that are challenged, because you're now thinking puberty. How do you handle puberty? The first time I saw my first son grow pubic hair under his armpit, I called a male friend. I said, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm clueless. What do I do? Like, What's going on? Because I wasn't prepared. I didn't know all these things, And then he advised me and everything, and it was good. I'm like, okay. So at least to a certain extent, I know what to expect. And Google has also been of good help and all. And then asking questions from people, because I realized that I can't do this on my own. I don't know it all. I'm still learning every day. And I have also put myself in a situation where I must learn every day. I must look for a way to better my child's life. I must make sure my child is comfortable. I must know when my child is doing this. I'll tell you something. I didn't have a good relationship with my second son because I couldn't understand him. I couldn't. I just couldn't. And he will do some things and I will scream at him. And I didn't like the way he will cower. And I knew I wasn't doing something right. And I knew that something had to be done. And I said to myself, look, Moji, you need to go for training. You need to go for it. Even if you find training that will mean that you have to work with other parents as well. But you need to go for training because you need to help your child. It's very easy for children who are autistic, ASD, ADHD, language disorder, dyslexia, and the likes. They're different disorders. I'm not going to go into all the medical things. They're different disorders. Some think that they're on the spectrum, but no, they tend to mimic one another. But where you dig deep and you speak to a health professional, a child psychologist, they will be able to explain to you that these conditions are different from one another. However, I didn't have a good relationship with him, and it did hurt me because that boy took all my yellowness. And I'm like, how can you take all this yellowness and I will not be, we can't be friends? So I went on a training and I realized that I was doing it all wrong. I was doing it wrong. And I realized that I need to have a relationship with my child. And for the 1 week, 2 weeks I did that training, it has helped me even till date. Like, my son doesn't hug. He doesn't peck. He doesn't blow kisses. He's just, when he sees you, he's happy to see you and he's excited. But now I'm like, come and hug me. And he comes to hug me. That's something I had to build. It's not something that, and I'm very passionate about like reaching out to parents that these children, all they need is a different kind of approach to parenting. Yeah. They don't need the regular, everybody is used to the regular. And I think that laziness too, I'm sorry, but I think parents sometimes are just lazy. They don't want to go the extra mile to be able to take care of that special needs child. But the truth of the matter is that your child, nobody prays to have a special child. But you know what? That you give birth to your child and the child is fine. That child is not immune to any disabilities later in life. We've had adults who are diagnosed with autism, with ADHD. A friend of mine reached out to me recently and she said that her son, they live abroad, that her son has ADHD. And I said to her, it's been there from the beginning, you just didn't know. Because the signs are always there. But we are not just paying attention. That's why I said a lot of us are lazy as parents. We're just used to doing parenting the normal way, but parenting is no longer normal. Even with all that is happening all around us in the world, parenting is no longer normal. There are a lot of things that are going on in the world. So now having a child that has a disability or a behavioral or neurological disorder, you just have to look for a way to make parenting work for you such that you will be able to take care of your child, that kind of thing. And a lot of parents I just wish I have, I always say this thing that I have this burning desire to help people because I know that we can give these children better quality life. Parents need to arm themselves and train themselves, go for training. It doesn't matter how much you pay. At the end of the day, you would realize that the impact you're making is enormous. I see my second son comes out from school. He comes to hug me. Wherever I am, I will get my hug. And then it's so bad that sometimes I get tired. He wants to peck me and then the pecking does not stop. I like, damn it, it's okay. I'm okay. But you see, I'm happy. I'm not complaining because I didn't get there in one day. There are times that he's very intelligent. If you do something in front of him, that's the end. Just know that he's going to figure it out. And then he would do something and one day he poured hair oil into my sewing machine when I was still making clothes. I almost ran. But you
Oh,
know what?
wow.
I don't blame him. He saw
Yeah.
them putting engine
So,
oil into the machine, and the hair oil happens to look like the nozzle of the machine, of the oil machine, the engine oil. And then he just helped me in his mind. He was helping me, but then I was leaving like, what do you think you're doing? How much this thing cost me? Why are you doing this? But
he
that
was
day was
helping
the
you to oil your
turning point.
machine.
Yes. But that day was the turning point because I screamed so loud and I was shaking because and then I know and that was the turning point from that. No, this is not normal. I need to look for a way. We have to learn how to train this child, how to work with this child, how to work with my first son, how to make things easy for him and all of that. Yes, being in the single parent home also doesn't make it easy. I mean, I hear a lot of stories of partners leaving each other because they have a child that has a disability. Well, I want to tell people who are walking out of such situations that you are not doing yourself any good, but you are doing that child a disservice because
Yeah.
you have created another generation of dysfunctional children. Because that child is a very sensitive child, number one. The child will probably live with the idea in his or her mind that I am the reason why my mother and my father are not together. Now, that alone is damaging to that child's mental health. And a lot of
Yeah.
people are selfish. There's nothing wrong with being selfish. But you see, where you can make it work with that parent, with the other parent, please try to be in that child's life, no matter what. My ex and I don't have the best of relationships. We curse out on each other every once in a while, normal, expected. But you see, I think we try to make it work for the kids. I think we may not see eye to eye on a lot of things, but he's very much involved in their lives. And I am grateful for that. It's very important that your parents can't stay together doesn't mean that they love the children any less. That everyone wants to move on with their lives with other people. It's okay. We must get to the point of acceptance that really that is not working between us doesn't mean that the lives of these children should be led astray. It's a very difficult situation to be in. I lost myself before I found myself. A few years after the divorce, I was a lost cause. I went for therapy. I was seeing 3 therapists at a time. That's to tell you how broken I was. And I'm saying this because I want people to know that it's not an easy journey. I'm acknowledging your pain, but you must do it because you want to be a better parent for your child. Above anything else, that should be your goal. Beyond, somebody said to me as yesterday that I hope something about being petty. I can't really remember how she put it. And I go like, if I'm petty, have I moved on? No, I haven't moved on. That means I'm still holding on to something. And that's not good for me. So I need to focus on me. I matter. I am important. My children matter. They are important. I think if I look at it now, in the last 6 years that we've not been together, I think I've been a better parent from 2 years ago when I agreed that yes, I have problems. Yes, I have a problem. I need to fix it. I need to fix myself. I need to fix my issues. I need to fix my trauma. I need to fix a lot of things, the baggage I was carrying from my childhood that I probably didn't recognize early. I needed to fix a lot of things. And I went for therapy. I saw 3 different therapies for 3 different purposes. See, I even it was really bad. It was really bad. And I'm happy I went through all those phases. Sorry, they took light, they just brought light. So I'm happy I went through all those phases and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I had an opportunity to walk through it, that I can be I can be an example for others. I'm a very young girl. I think I'm a young girl. So I like to look myself as a young girl. So, and then I'm like, I know that if as a young person I come out with my story, trying to make impact in people's lives, I'm pretty sure people will listen to me. And I always say someone said that because we have challenges, I mean, there are lots of challenges, financial and everything. And someone said that why don't you look at, soliciting for funds? And the question I asked is this: for how long? For how long do I do that? But rather than solicit for funds. Let me help people. You understand? Because it's not sustainable. Let me help people. Let's sit down. Let's look at. I've come up with, if you know what the kind of things I've come up with to help my child, especially my first son. I've made sandbags with my needle and thread because I couldn't afford to buy the weights at the time. That's why I made sandbags. You must be ready to read, to study. You will always be on your system, because you see, there's going to be a time you can't take care of that child like you want to. When you're old and gray, you can't carry that child anymore. And then what happens? Are you going to leave the child? But if you have put certain mechanisms in place for your child, especially for the children that are non-mobile. Last week, my nanny went on off. Her son was sick, so she had emergency surgery. So she had to leave for about 2 weeks. And during those 2 weeks, I had to take care of my child. Number one, if I did not go for training on how to take care of my child, honestly, she probably will come back and meet an emaciated child. That's one. Two, in the process of taking him to the bathroom for a shower, because he can walk but with support, I sprained my back. He's 12. He's tall. So I sprained my back. And then I asked myself, what can you do that you can transport this boy from his room to the bathroom? And even when you get to the bathroom, assuming, okay, well, let's make him walk to the bathroom. Let's make him exercise some muscles. But when he wants to enter the bathtub, what's that thing you can do that he can climb to enter into the bathtub? Because doing a flat bathtub will not work for him. He has to be something he can sit on. And then I said, what's that thing I can put in the bathtub that will make turning his back easy for me to scrub? Okay, since he can stand, it's just fear of standing alone. Okay, means I need to create something that he can hold on to, that I must suction to the wall, he can hold on to and not be afraid that he would fall. If I'm not a parent who is involved in my child's life that way, I probably will never know. I will never know. I will just be like, let them handle it. But now it also makes me understand that the caregivers that he has are doing a lot of work, makes me appreciate them even much more. But it also means that I need to make his life easy. Because there's going to be a time a caregiver can carry him. He's 12. And even I, his mother, I sprained my back. By the time he's 15, I'm sure I can't carry him. I'm pretty sure. So the thing for me is parents must be open, their minds must be open. And how do you get your minds to being open? Is accepting your child as your child is. I'm all for a miracle. I am also a realistic person. I know God works in mysterious ways, but I'm also a realistic person. But in praying for the miracles, in the spiritual, please work in the physical. They depend on they depend on one another. We must be realistic. An incident happened recently, and the guy was supposed to go for an operation, and they gave him drugs, and the pain stopped. And I asked, when is the surgery? They said January. I said, okay. How is he now? They said, God has done it. I said, what? God has done what? I said, did you go back and check to know whether that word that came is for you? So that your testimony can be complete. Did you go back? No. Kasala, I've now burst. There's problem. Do you understand? So I'm all for the miracles, but I'm also a realistic person. That let's not just leave, okay, let's just be facing the spiritual. Let's not do the physical. You also have to help your child, because it is, I don't know how to quote the Bible very well, please forgive me, but it is in the efficacy of what you are doing in the spiritual that you will see the manifestation in the physical. Am I right? Bible scholars.
Yes.
Am I
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So you need to do the works in the physical such that you can help the miracle come to pass. That's it. But a lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people are okay with God will do it. But how will God do it if you're not doing anything? How would God do it? And you're doing, for me, it hurts. A teacher told me about a student in her class that said that the child has, well, they're suspecting autism, but I don't think it's autism. So, and I said, have they gone for an evaluation? She said, no. I said, do you want me to speak to the parent? They're not in my child's school. I met her at a party. She was like, she'll try and get her to talk to me. I said, I hope, she now made a statement. She said, I hope she calls. That means that because the parents said to her that she believes God will do it. Her and her husband are believing God. Okay, there's nothing anybody can do until you get to that point that you have accepted that your child has a problem. You can't have if anybody tells anything, you can't believe. Nothing. There's nothing anybody says. You're not going to believe. But when you come to the point of acceptance, see, I was a size 14 when I got to SA. I did 40 days prayer and fasting. Dry fast. I was breaking 6 o'clock every day for 40 days. I became size 10. I don't have any of those pictures again. If not, I will send them to you personally. I was a size 10. Am I saying that I didn't hear from God, or am I saying that God didn't speak? No, I'm not saying that God did not speak. It only means that the time for the miracle to happen is not now. But while I'm waiting for the miracle to happen, I will continue to work such that by the time the miracle is happening, they will not call my God a magician, because he's not. You understand? He's not a magician. He will do his work as he should do, but you need to give him so that he takes all the glory at the end of the day. You understand? But it's just, I feel pain. I'm hurt. Honestly, it's a burden. I just wish that I can, reach out to more parents and all. And I would like to say that for parents who have either special kids or who are whose children are growing up in a single household, I want to appeal to you. Please, if the partner wants to be in the child's life, allow the partner. If you're a mother, you only know a mother's love. You can never understand a father's love. You can behave like a mother and a father, but you can never understand a father's love, and you can't give it. You're not programmed like that. If you are a father, please allow the mother, if she's willing or if he's willing, and for some reason because you are bitter, which is, you are allowed to be bitter, but please don't deny that child. Don't let that child grow up having mommy and daddy issues, because that's the reason why we have all the issues we have today. We have a lot of children that are growing up and have mommy and daddy issues because their parents have been absent either by evolution or otherwise. So I want to appeal to parents. Please let your children let your partners, either male or female, be in their children's life as long as they are willing. Let's not forget that word. As long as they are willing. Where they are not willing, please find someone who can help mold your child. You don't have to get married again before you find someone, or you don't have to. I'm not saying you shouldn't get married, don't get me wrong, because I plan to remarry one day. So I'm not saying, yes, I will remarry.
Oh yes,
I will. So because I love a marriage setting. I love being in a home. My parents have been married 50 years. You see this condition, I mean, I don't understand it. And the funny thing is, no two divorces are the same. What works for you may not work for another person. So I'm used to seeing mother and father grow up together, grow old together. I'm not used to this. So for me, I'm not okay. I know I will remarry at God's time. So, but being that as is me, I would still look for. I mean, there are people in my brother. I have 2 other brothers. One is in Lagos and one is not in Lagos. The other one who is in Lagos is more or less like the father figure that they see when their dad is not available, since they don't stay with their dad 2-4, since they are with me. So, at least create that rapport. Don't shield them completely from the world. It takes a village to raise a child. So I found a video online recently, and I saw a close relation. She's what, 10, twerking on TikTok. I had to be very careful. I can't tell her mother and her father that this is what I saw, because what that means is that she's going to block me from everywhere blocking. So I see that it's a privilege that I've seen it. So let me not misuse that privilege. Let me call her, have a discussion with her that what she's doing is wrong, so that she can trust me when she runs into trouble, and she can come and talk to me. So that if she has any problem, she will have that auntie that knows what's up to talk to, such that she doesn't run into troubled water. And like I said, it takes a village to raise that parent. They feel that they've done the best for their children, but I mean, the child still wants to twerk online. What do you think? So basically that's us the rundown. In summary, parents, please find how to train yourself on how to take care of the child. Be open-minded, and please, most importantly, accept your child in whatever shape, form, or disability that has come. Accept your child. With acceptance, you can see the progress you can make. You can make plans. You can make adjustments. You can make things better. There's a whole lot to talk about, you know. I mean, I won't be able to exhaust everything within 1 hour, but there's a whole lot to talk about. I just want to encourage parents to go on to train themselves on how to take care of their kids. It can't be overemphasized.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm close to one or two. There are I have people who are very close to me who are dealing with special needs.
Yeah.
But it's one that these people that I know have. That you have to deal with too. I'm just finding out. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
So whilst you were speaking, one of the things that came to my mind is that for every woman, let me use woman now, or for every coach who I know have moved forward with their special need kid, there was a season when they prayed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know someone who was not fasting and praying alone. She had a team of people who were fasting and praying with her and believing God. These are people that I call family, so I know. I'm not saying what I read in a book. I was there. I understand. One of them, I knew where the issue started. All right?
Yeah.
But I believe, this is me speaking. I'm not, I didn't get it from anywhere. I'm not citing anybody. But this is me speaking. I think that most people who have special needs children, who are now coaches, who are now helping other people, there was a season when all they did was pray that God will heal their child. Maybe what happened was that what God answered was that my grace is sufficient for you, like he told
God bless you.
Paul.
Let me share an instance with you.
All right.
When I had my first son, and he was 3 months, by 3 months, by birth, we already knew the issue. And I prayed. I used the book of Daniel to pray. And you know what I heard? I take care of my own. God did not tell me that your child will work for Tofu. Just said I take care of my own. And when I told my pastor then, he's my cousin, he's my personal pastor. And I told him, and he said, Moji, you're very lucky. God doesn't just tell people that. He said, I take care of my own. Do you know what that means? My own. Do you know what that means? My own. That means you are God's own. So anything that happens to you is not behind God's knowledge. So even with that, I did not accept. So I will not lie to you. I tell you the truth. I did not accept. But you see, that time I was in SA, I did not hear anything. That I did my 40 days prayer and fasting. I don't hear anything. Because he said in his word, once have I spoken, twice have you heard. I refuse to hear. I refuse to hear. But you see, I don't hear anything. For 40 days, I will pray on any other thing, I will hear. But if I sit down and I'm praying over my children, I don't hear anything. So I've decided to be thanking God. Abi? Simple. Praise God. See, when my separation happened, before we now move to divorce level, I had only one prayer point. I didn't pray that, oh Lord, let us get back together. No. You want to know my prayer point?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, give me peace.
Oh, yes.
Oh Lord, give me peace. And the reason why, oh Lord, give me peace was my major prayer point, was because if I didn't have peace, I would not be able to settle with taking care of my children. It was when I had peace, I knew that I could see, create a clear path. Okay, I need therapy. I can't do this alone. I need therapy. So, like I said earlier, both physical and spiritual, they are interwoven. They must work together.
Thank you.
And that was it.
They must work together. You know why I said that? My grace is sufficient for you. When that grace, because it's sufficient, you are able to, God, like he told you, I'll take care of my own. So as he's taking care of you, you're empowered to take care of others.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Everyone who I have found destiny, who have found purpose with helping these special needs children, they are very close to God's heart. They have fasted, they have prayed, and I think that the grace to help other people is an answer to that prayer.
Yeah.
Right? So, like you said, what else do you want to hear? I take care of my own. So you cannot be stranded.
Exactly.
And I understand why you will need therapy. I understand. I've not been in your shoes, but because I am a mental health practitioner, I understand why you need therapy. You will need therapy because waking up in the morning and realizing that your child is like that is devastating.
Yes, it is.
So you're waking up. It's like your world is crumbling.
Yeah.
You say like, okay, so how did I get here? What did I do wrong? What did I now do wrong?
Yeah.
Is it the sin I committed before I got married? Is it the way I'm handling it? Is it that I made a mistake in marriage? Your mind, you will ask yourself all manner. So you will need therapy so that you will own your essence.
Yeah.
You will be able to say, hey, God, if you decided to trust me with this child, and I tell parents, you know why that will be devastating? It's because of the side of the world where we are from.
Yeah.
1. 2, is because a lot of us also are religious. We have been taught religiosity and not spirituality.
Yeah.
Because we are taught religiosity, you and I, many people think that they own the children. So it's my son. So is my daughter. I am proud of you. It is this. It is that. And why I may not have anything against that, my philosophy with parenting is different. I think that parenting is a trust. Parenting is a trust. If you are blessed with 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 of them, God trusted you with each one of them. God is owner. You are a caregiver.
Yeah.
Every time we understand that, you will know that everything you need to raise a child is God has made provision for every one of his children. Hence, he told you, I take care of my own. That is a plan that God has made. Every child has an account with God.
Yeah.
So if you are battling with school fees, it's because you have not told the father or the son or daughter to pay his child's school fees. The day you get that mind, get it straight, God will send the gift or whoever vessel, whatever area he wants to use to sort that child.
Yeah.
Okay. So to come to an understanding to say, hey, if it's not my child and somebody he or she belongs to God. So is this one that he trusted me with? I will do what I can do to make him loved, appreciated. You do not know how many people that you are assisting. You don't know how many people that are on this call this night. You don't know how many people that will see this video after now, who will say, really, she's looking together like this. You know that people who think that because they have special needs children, they cannot remarry.
No, me? I remarry.
Are you seeing it? So they shut down their lives by themselves.
Yeah.
So they pity, they live in that state of pity. And you're not to be pitied. You are royalty.
No.
You are kingship. You belong to God. Your father is the God who came out without a raw material and established the whole heavens upon invisible pillars. He's the best. See, you are the best designer's original.
Yes.
God is a masterpiece. The way you are, there is a reason for that.
Yeah.
Yes, our physical mind, our mindset, our thought pattern, you may not be able to, wrap your mind around it, and I understand it. In fact, people without special needs are struggling with wrapping their mind around what they are going through.
Exactly.
Because right now, in the world that we live, there are people who lost their loved one during COVID-19, who knew that if it was something money can buy, their money would have bought it.
Yes.
But hey, all of us are full of imperfections. That we're not perfect. We are all working towards perfection. And so it's one day at a time, sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So this particular session, we dedicated it for you to know. Like you have heard her. No, if she was not on the program now and I'm telling you this, I don't understand. You have heard her from the horse's mouth. You probably have one. She has two. And her life has not ended. She's here today being a blessing to you and I. She has a life. She has accepted. She has said, okay, God, if you trusted me with it, it's all good. All right? And then, and I like what you said about being at peace. When you're at peace, you're able to even figure out how you can help that child better. You can think about how to make a tailor-made bathroom, tailor-made toilets, a suitable room. What can happen? What are the child possibilities? You will know. In fact, what she's doing now, she will no longer be able to queue up to say, hey, if you don't give me 5,000, I can't eat today. All right? I've seen people who, because they were caught up in that, they have opened NGOs that are empowering people all over the world. Okay? So Irene Foundation is one. A couple of weeks ago, we went to do a walk because they had that one special need child. This year, they are going to give out 100 limbs, 100. They had one child. They are giving out 100 limbs. All right? Because they have moved beyond the pain. They are stepped into purpose. The word for you tonight is, look beyond what is happening. Look beyond it. Look beyond the shame. Sorry, power have gone out.
Oh, no problem. It's fine.
Look beyond the shame, or why me? Forgive me. I am not being harsh, but I have a cousin who, once I was growing up, a couple of things that happened. I used to cry so much for the loss of my mother. I used to there was a time, there's a way you would call Amaka. I would think you called me like that because my mother is late. It was bad. Right? That's the way you pronounce Amaka, just pronouncing my name. I'll say, see, that's how they used to pronounce the name of people who their mother is late. Seriously. And I was not crying. Right? You know what that cousin told me? He said, every time we say, why me? Why me? If not you, who?
Yeah.
Who do you wish the pain that you have been through?
Pain on. Yeah.
So I will leave you with this. It's not the sin that you committed. It's not what you didn't do well. It's not even what you did well. Life just happens. Sometimes we are not able to explain it. Come to terms with that. And then maybe you need to also forgive God. Especially if you're a Christian, you're a child of God. You have been waiting for this husband or this wife, and you prayed and you felt that it was the Holy Spirit leading you. And then you eventually gave birth, and the child is a special need. Permit me to say it means that you're a special father or mother. You're a special breed. There's something beyond what an ordinary person can handle that God has trusted you with. Embrace it and go beyond where you are and begin to help others. Again, please, you see that allow permission to have his or her father or mother in their life. Very critical. I will always say the best of a mother will be a poor father. The best of a father will be a poor mother. Everybody have their roles. Please let everybody play their role in raising up the child. All right? Please, Coach Mojusola, I think I murdered the name before. Forgive me. But I think it's Mojusola.
Yes, yes, it is.
So, yes. What's your parting word for anybody? In fact, sometimes it's two things. One, what are you telling people who do not have special needs children?
Okay.
Because we live in a very interesting
world, climate.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's your word? What's your parting word to the person who do not have a special needs child, but must be a stakeholder in raising these children? That's one. What's your parting word to the woman or the man who is dealing with a special needs child who don't even know what to do? Or maybe you have gone many years, right? Maybe the person is where you used to be. He's just realizing his son is 3 years. Her daughter is 2 years. What's a passing word for them?
Okay. For people who don't have special kids, I would like to say that where you find people who have special kids, be kind. Kindness goes a long way. It's not even all about the money, being kind with your resources, being kind with your time. Be kind to them. Don't shut them out because they have no one to talk to a lot of time. So where you find someone in that kind of situation, because really nobody understands what they go through. Nobody does because you're not in their shoes. But wherever you find yourself, if you find people who have special children, be kind. Be intentional about being kind. Kindness doesn't come easy, but be intentional about it. And it goes a long way. It goes a long way. Just be kind. That's it. Be kind. And kindness is wide. So that's that. Then for someone who is still struggling and trying to find his or her footing in life with a special child, I want you to accept your child as your child is. The first step in any growth or development towards your child, you have to accept your child. Be ready to improvise things to make life easy for you and your child. And please go for training. If you're having issues with that, I can help with that. You just find yourself to train. Please. It's the best thing. I can't explain the joy I felt after going for that training and having a fantastic relationship with my second son. It's mind blowing. And even everybody at home was like, I'm better towards him. Like, you are now a better parent towards Damilola. And yes, I owe it to training because I wanted to learn. I wanted to know. So please train yourself, arm yourself with enough information. Information you can't go wrong with. And love that child unconditionally. Yes, there'll be frustrating days, but that unconditionally, because really that's all. So those are my words.
Thank you. Thank you. So could you please share your handles so that someone can reach out to you if they need to?
Okay, it's special needs parenting, special needs underscore parenting on Instagram. My email address is there, my telephone number is there, so you can always reach out to me anytime you want to.
All right, please, guys, give her a gift. God bless you. Drop her a message in the chat room there on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for all you're doing. I will see from the first day I met you. Once I knew that that's it, I know that, hey, this person is an Amazon. It's not a joke at all. It's not. So I appreciate you. I pray that I'm joining my faith with yours that you will find love. You will find love again. You will find love. You will find peace. And hey, we are going to rock Ashebi. I have told myself I won't be buying Ashebi again, but your own I will buy.
No problem. No problem. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you for
so
coming.
very much. I had a wonderful time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Really good.
All right.
Okay, guys, can you see that? Next time when you see a special need parent, please be kind. Even me, I think I'm kind, but I'm going to take it to another level. Be kind, pay attention. If the only thing you can give is hug, please give a hug. If the only thing you can say is, hey, we've got your back. Hey, we're praying for you. Whatever it is, if sometimes you just hold their hand and squeeze it, that will send the message that, hey, we're in this together. You're not alone, right? And please, if you're there and you are where she used to be, you can see all her smiles. Consult. This smile came out from experience. I'm sure when our children were 3 years, she wasn't smiling like this. So so if your own is there, please go ahead and get help. Reach out and get help. You know why she's here? So that you don't have to go through 12 years, 8 years before you find help. You can find help early. You can be assisted early. Once she was trying to, she said she's self-groomed to a very large extent. Once she was trying to do that, she made a lot of mistakes. You don't have to repeat her mistake. Reach out. When you meet coaches like this, you stand on their shoulders so that you can be able to move and go further, right? Thank you again for coming. Again, this is Amaka, and we are winding down for the Disruptive Parenting Summit, day number 10. Today I have fun. I was telling you guys, I had fun. God, interacting with a healed woman.
Yeah.
A healed woman. I'm a therapist, so I understand. Right?
Yeah.
And then please go for therapy. Get that help. Go to that place where you will recover yourself, where you can connect with you, where you have strength enough to face what is ahead of you. All right. Again, my name is Amaka. I have we have Disruptive Parenting book. I have also the Disruptive Parenting. I'm the founder of Disruptive Parenting Academy. You see how we are disrupting things? Because, man, you are God's child, just like your children are God's children.
Yeah.
All right? And he's loving us anyway. So we have to enjoy this life. One of my mantras is that life is sweet. So whatever wants to truncate it, we will disrupt it.
Yes.
All right? So thank you again for joining us. Please make sure that you share, and share. Like my page, subscribe. Please subscribe. Help my ministry to go forward. Please click the subscribe button and make sure that you turn on your notification bell so that every time we come on, you will be notified. Thank you again for joining us. It's day number 10 concluded, and we're excited today. See you tomorrow. This is a 30 days journey. 30 days. I'm sure somebody is rocking this big time, right? 30 days of being empowered in different ways to to just make sure that your children turn out better. To whom much is given, much is expected. So please gather this information. You cannot go through this class for 30 days and not be transformed. That one is impossible. Your village people can't stop you from transformation.
No way. No way.
Right? So thank you again for coming, sis. Appreciate it. It's on this note that we draw the curtain for today. I'm excited. You can see that I'm having the fun of my life. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.